The mind is the greatest battlefield you will ever step onto. It is not the stock market. It is not the marketplace. It is not the boardroom or the stage or the streets. It is the space between your ears. Whoever controls it wins. Whoever it neglects it becomes enslaved by it. History is not shaped by chance, but by men and women who learned to master the invisible empire of thought. Don't think about it. Every empire, every fortune, every invention, every revolution that altered the course of mankind began first as a single thought. Edison's light was not born in a laboratory, it was conceived in his imagination. Long before the filament burned bright, Carnegie's steel empire did not rise because of physical strength, but because of mental clarity and the unwavering decision that he would dominate an industry. Henry Ford did not build the motorcar because the world demanded it. The world laughed at him, but his mind demanded it. His belief demanded it. And Walt Disney, the man who built a kingdom from drawings on paper, said it best: if you can dream it, you can do it. Yet most people never learn this truth. They drift. They surrender their mental throne to fear, to doubt, to laziness, to the opinions of others. They allow the news, the gossip, the distractions of the modern age to hijack the controls. They live as puppets pulled by invisible strings, and then they wonder why life feels like a prison. Listen carefully. If you do not seize command of your mind, it will command you. It will chain you with old habits, blind you with limiting beliefs, and drown you with noise until your dreams suffocate in silence. The first step toward greatness is to understand that your mind is both the lock and the key. The quality of your life will always mirror the quality of your thoughts. What you focus on expands. What you allow consistently into your mind will eventually manifest into your reality. Napoleon Hill wrote it plainly: you are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul, because thought is the rudder that steers your ship. Picture a ship without a captain. The waves toss it endlessly. It drifts wherever the current takes it, until it crashes on the rocks. This is the life of the unfocused mind. But give that same ship a captain with vision, discipline, and courage, on suddenly the same ocean that destroys the weak becomes the pathway to treasure. Life has not changed. The ocean has not changed. The difference is the mind that commands. The vessel. Your mind is not your enemy, but it can be the most dangerous adversary you will ever face if you do not master it. It is cunning. It will whisper lies. It will amplify your fears. It will try to protect you by keeping you small, convincing you that comfort is safety, that risk is danger, that discipline is too hard. And yet, history proves the opposite. Comfort is a slow death. Risk is the birthplace of greatness. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you must go. When you rise each morning, you are entering battle, not with the world, but with yourself. Will you command your mind to focus on purpose, on gratitude, on the vision of who you must become? Or will you allow it to drag you back into the swamp of excuses, distraction, and doubt? Every day, in every moment, you are either programming your mind or being programmed by it. Understand this. Thought is energy. Energy attracts like energy. What you think about with intensity, backed by emotion and belief, begins to move in your direction. The wealthy do not think in scarcity, they think in abundance. The resilient do not think in terms of defeat, they think in terms of lessons. The visionary does not dwell on the impossibility of today. They see the inevitability of tomorrow. This is not mysticism. It is the law of cause and effect. Control the cause, your thought, and you control the effect, your results. You must, therefore, build a fortress in your mind. Guard the gates with vigilance. Refuse entry to fear disguised as logic, to doubt disguised as caution, to envy disguised as realism. Feed your mind daily with strength, with clarity, with images of the life you demand. Just as the body becomes what you feed it, so too does the mind. If you feed it weakness, it becomes weak. If you feed it power, vision, and discipline, it becomes unstoppable. Ask yourself, who do you want at the controls of your destiny? The small, timid version of yourself who believes what the world tells him, or the bold, disciplined captain who commands the storms to serve his voyage? Decide now, because neutrality is not an option. If you do not control your mind, it will control you. The greatest tragedy of human potential is not failure, it is surrender to mediocrity. It is not falling down, it is never daring to rise. And the root of this tragedy lies in a mind left untamed. You must remember, the mind is not naturally disciplined, it is wild. Like a powerful stallion, it must be trained, harnessed, directed with deliberate intention. Left alone, it will wander in circles, running toward pleasure, running from pain, repeating the same old patterns. But once mastered, it becomes a force of infinite creation. Think of Abraham Lincoln, a man born into poverty, self-educated in the flickering light of a fireplace, burdened by loss, failure, and ridicule. By any logical measure, his mind should have collapsed under the weight of despair. Yet he trained it. He commanded it to see possibility in the face of tragedy. He forced it to rise again and again, until that same mind carried him to the highest office in the land, and through him a nation was reborn. Or consider Thomas Edison, who failed over 10,000 times before giving the world the electric light. 10,000 failures would have broken most men. But Edison understood, failure is not defeated as data. Each failure is a stepping stone. each attempt a refinement. His mind did not control him with despair. He controlled his mind with persistence, and because of that, the world no longer lives in darkness. This is the secret most overlooked. External success is nothing more than the shadow of internal mastery. You cannot control the market. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control the opinions of men, but you can always control your thoughts, your beliefs, your decisions, and your response. This is the foundation upon which all fortunes are built. If you study the wealthy, the powerful, the visionaries, you will find they share a single commonality: not background, not education, not even talent. The one thing they share is control over their own mind. They decide what to focus on. They decide what stories to believe. They decide to act with courage when others freeze in fear. And so they shape the world while others watch. But do not mistake control for suppression. To master your mind is not to silence it with force, but to channel it with wisdom. Just as a river, uncontrolled, floods and destroys, but channeled, it powers cities. Your thoughts must flow, but you must decide their direction. Clarity is your compass. Without it, the mind wanders aimlessly, bouncing from one desire to another, never committing, never achieving. You must ask yourself with ruthless honesty, what do I truly want? What kind of life am I willing to fight for? Until your mind is given a definite purpose, it will default to distraction. A mind without purpose is a slave to the trivial. A mind with purpose is a weapon against all resistance. Once you establish purpose, discipline must follow. Discipline is the soldier that guards the gates of your mind. Without it, even the clearest vision will evaporate into nothingness. Andrew Carnegie once said, "The man who acquires the ability to take full possession of his own mind may take possession of anything else to which he is justly entitled." Discipline is that possession. Discipline is self-command. It is the refusal to let fleeting moods dictate permanent destiny. And yet, so many surrender at the first sign of discomfort. They want the crown without carrying the cross. They want the treasure without crossing the storm. They want the reward without enduring the process. But your mind cannot be strengthened in comfort. Just as muscles grow only when they are strained, your mental strength grows only when it is tested. Every challenge you face is not an obstacle, but an invitation to grow stronger in command of yourself. Consider the story of Henry Ford. When he first envisioned the automobile, the experts laughed. The bankers dismissed him. The public scoffed. Yet Ford was not controlled by the noise. He was controlled by his vision. His mind repeated one command: I will build a car for the masses. And because he controlled his thoughts with absolute conviction, he altered the very fabric of society. Now ask yourself, what is repeating in your mind? Is it the voice of doubt, whispering that you are not enough? Is it the voice of fear, reminding you of every past failure? Or is it the voice of faith, declaring that your best is yet to come? Whatever voice you feed will grow. Whatever story you repeat will become your reality. The mind believes what it hears most often, so speak life, speak strengths, speak victory into your soul. Gratitude is another key. Without it, the mind spirals into scarcity. Gratitude redirects focus from what is missing to what is possible. It transforms lack into abundance, frustration into fuel. Andrew Carnegie built his fortune but lived in constant gratitude, understanding that wealth without gratitude becomes poverty of spirit. When you wake each day, train your mind to see blessings before problems, opportunities before obstacles, lessons before losses. Gratitude disarms fear and reprograms the mind to expect good. But gratitude without action is incomplete. The disciplined mind not only thinks, it acts. Thoughts must crystallize into decisions, and decisions must harden into action. Napoleon Hill wrote that action is the real measure of intelligence. If you think but never move, if you dream but never do, then your mind is still in control of you. True mastery is demonstrated in the courage to act while others hesitate, to move while others doubt, to build while others talk. So here is the truth. You are not battling the world, you are battling yourself. Your fears, your doubts, your excuses, they live within. Conquer them, and the world is yours. Surrender to them, and the world will pass you by. This is the ultimate test. Will you command your mind, or will it command you? The world will test you. Life will push you. Circumstances will attempt to bend your will. And in those moments, when everything seems against you, the question will echo, who is in control, your mind or the storm? You see, adversity does not create weakness, it reveals it. It strips away illusions and exposes whether your mind is captain or captive. When the economy collapses, some see despair while others see opportunity. When the world shuts its doors, some freeze while others build new doors. The difference is never the situation, it is the state of mind. Take, for example, the Great Depression. Millions surrendered to panic, fear, and hopelessness. But out of that same soil of despair rose men who built fortunes and legacies. Why? Because they did not allow fear to dictate thought. They trained their minds to search for opportunity where others saw only ruin. The mind that is trained to focus on possibility is like gold, it shines brightest in darkness. Winston Churchill once said, "The empires of the future are empires of the mind." He was right. The future belongs to those who can command their own thinking. Not to the fastest, not to the strongest, but to the most disciplined and visionary. Control your mind, and the chaos of the world becomes raw material for greatness. Lose control, and the chaos consumes you. This is why resilience is essential. Resilience is the armor of the mind. It is not about avoiding pain, but about absorbing the blow and standing taller. Every person who has ever built greatness has endured ridicule, setbacks, and failures that would have destroyed the ordinary. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. Imagine that the man who built an empire of imagination told he had none, but he did not allow that judgment to control him. He controlled his mind, and because of that, the world was given a kingdom of dreams. Your resilience will determine your destiny. Train your mind to see rejection as redirection, to see failure as feedback, to see obstacles as stepping stones. Do not curse the challenges, they are forging your mind into steel. The sword is not strong until it passes through fire. Neither are you. But resilience alone is not enough. You must also cultivate adaptability. The world changes. Technology devolves, markets shift. Those who cling to old ways of thinking are left behind. The masters of the mind are not rigid, they are fluid. They do not resist change. They bend with it and transform it into advantage. Henry Ford's vision of the automobile was revolutionary, but if he had refused to evolve beyond the Model T, his empire would have collapsed. Control your mind, and you will see change not as a threat, but as a teacher. Now let us speak of faith not in the religious sense, but in the psychological sense. Faith is the ability to see the invisible and believe in the yet unseen. It is the mind's greatest weapon, because it creates certainty where none exists. Andrew Carnegie believed he would control steel when steel was not yet trusted. Edison believed in the light when the world only knew darkness. Faith directed their minds, and their minds shaped reality. You cannot control the winds of life, but you can control the sails of thought. With faith as your compass, you will steer through storms others deem impossible. Faith does not eliminate doubt, it conquers it. Faith does not erase fear, it commands the mind to act in spite of it. When you live by faith in your vision, your mind becomes a magnet, pulling resources, people, and opportunities toward you. And here lies another truth. Your environment feeds your mind. Just as a seed cannot grow in poisoned soil, your thoughts cannot grow in toxic soil. Who do you listen to? Who do you allow to speak into your life? If you surround yourself with doubters, your mind will absorb doubt. If you surround yourself with dreamers, your mind will absorb vision. Guard your environment as you guard your treasure, for it shapes the thoughts that shape your destiny. The people you admire, the books you read, the voices you entertain, these are architects of your mind. If you desire wealth, study those who built it. If you desire courage, listen to those who lived it. If you desire mastery, surround yourself with those who embody it. You cannot escape influence, but you can choose it. And when you control what influences your mind, you control what grows within it. Remember this: thought without action is fantasy, but action without thought is chaos. The key is alignment, thoughts so deeply ingrained that they naturally manifest in disciplined action. This is why habits are critical. Habits are the programming of the mind made visible. Every action repeated writes itself into your mental code until you no longer think, you simply do. Build habits of excellence, and excellence becomes inevitable. Build habits of mediocrity, and mediocrity becomes unavoidable. Do not wait for motivation. Motivation is fleeting like a spark. Discipline, however, is firewood. It burns long after the spark fades. Train your mind to rely not on feeling, but on commitment. Champions do not perform because they feel like it, they perform because they have trained their minds to honor the commitment above the mood, and above all, vision. Vision is the architect of the mind's empire. Without vision, your mind has nothing to aim for. It becomes restless, scattered, easily hijacked by distractions. With vision, every thought is given direction. Every decision is filtered through purpose. Every setback is redefined as part of the path. Vision is not seeing things as they are, is seeing them as they could be, and training your mind to believe until they are. So understand this: your destiny does not begin when circumstances align. Your destiny begins when your mind aligns. Everything external is secondary. Everything internal is primary. Control your mind, and you can endure any storm, overcome any failure, seize any opportunity. Lose control, and no amount of talent, resources, or luck will save you. Greatness is never given, it is claimed, and it is claimed first in the mind. Every achievement you will ever touch with your hands must first be grasped by your thoughts. Every fortune you will ever build must first be constructed in your imagination. Every victory you will ever taste must first be won in silence. In the battlefield of your own mind, this is why the undisciplined man stumbles. His mind wanders in circles, chasing every distraction, drowning in doubt, hypnotized by fear. He becomes a passenger in his own life, carried by the winds of circumstance, never steering, never deciding, always reacting. But the disciplined man, the one who commands his mind, he becomes the driver, the builder, the creator. He does not wait for the winds to blow in his favor. He builds sails strong enough to harness any storm. Look around you. The world is filled with distractions, screens flashing, voices shouting, promises tempting you to surrender your focus. But understand this: focus is the crown jewel of a controlled mind. He who owns his focus owns his future. When you learn to concentrate your thought on one aim, one vision, one burning desire, you tap into a power the scattered mind will never know. Napoleon Hill called it the master key to riches: definite purpose backed by controlled thought. The man who decides who he will be, what he will build, and what he will demand from life then trains his mind to think of it, to dwell on it, to act upon it day and night cannot be denied. That universe itself bends to the will of a mind that refuses to be distracted. But let me tell you a secret most ignore. The mind will always resist at first. It will tempt you back to comfort. It will whisper that discipline can wait. It will fight you with every excuse in its arsenal. That resistance is proof you are taking control. That resistance is the mind testing your resolve. Do not fear it, face it, conquer it. Each time you refuse the easy path, your mind grows stronger in obedience to you. And as your mind bends, your world bends with it. You will notice opportunities where before you saw none. You will discover strength where once you felt weakness. You will endure storms with calm because you no longer live as a servant of thought, you live as its master. Think of the men who changed history. Lincoln, who endured countless failures before leading a divided nation. Edison, who lit the world after thousands of experiments others called foolish. Ford, who brought motion to the masses when experts mocked his dream. Were they geniuses, beyond comprehension? No. They were masters of their minds. They held vision, they held belief, they held discipline, and they refused to surrender thought to fear. And you have been given the same gift, the same tool, the same infinite engine waiting to be directed. Your mind is no less powerful than theirs. The only difference is whether you choose to control it or allow it to control you. So I ask you now, who is sitting on the throne of your mind? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it the opinions of others? Or is it youth, the bold, disciplined, relentless? The version of you who refuses to be chained by weakness. Decide, for until you decide, you will drift. But once you decide, once you declare ownership of your thoughts, your life will transform. You were not born to drift. You were not born to live small. You were not born to be controlled by fear, excuses, or circumstance. You were born to command, to build, to create, to master the invisible power of thought and shape it into visible greatness. And this is where the journey leads us to the ultimate truth. Control your mind, or it will control you. There is no middle ground. The choice is always before you. The battlefield is always active. Every morning when you open your eyes, you step onto the field. And every night, you lay down having either commanded the day or been commanded by it. Choose then to be the master. Train your thoughts as a warrior trains his sword. Sharpen them with discipline. Strengthen them with purpose. Guide them with vision. Guard them with gratitude. And direct them with unshakable belief. For the man who commands his mind cannot be defeated. He cannot be broken by failure, because his thoughts turn failure into fuel. He cannot be enslaved by fear, because his thoughts transform fear into faith. He cannot be denied his destiny, because his thoughts bend reality to match his vision. This is the path, this is the calling, and this is the power within you right now. Do not wait, do not drift, do not surrender another moment of your life to a wandering, undisciplined mind. Stand tall, take control, command your thoughts with the authority of a king, with the discipline of a soldier, with the vision of a builder, and with the faith of a dreamer. For when you do, when you finally master the battlefield within, you will discover the truth every great achiever has known. The world outside is nothing more than a mirror of the world inside. Conquer the inner world, and the outer world bends to your will. Control your mind, or it will control you. The choice is yours. The time is now.